Japan is the most heavily insured country on earth. More than 90% of Japanese households own life insurance, and many families own multiple policies. In fact, Japan buys more life insurance than the United States, even though the US has more than twice Japan's population. This is not just a financial trend, it's a cultural phenomenon. In today's video, we're going to explore something few people ever think about: why Japan buys so much life insurance, what makes their approach so different from the rest of the world, and what this reveals about their culture, economy, and relationship with money, family, and death. Before we go deeper, let's start with the basic numbers. Japan is the second largest life insurance market in the world, behind only the United States. But here's the difference: Americans buy insurance to replace income and protect families. Japanese people buy insurance for reasons that go far beyond financial safety. Life insurance in Japan has become part of the social fabric, a normal, expected, almost unavoidable part of adulthood. For many people, buying insurance is seen the same way as opening a bank account or paying taxes. It is simply what responsible people do. So the big question is, why? Why is life insurance so deeply embedded in Japanese society? To understand this, we have to look at multiple layers: history, culture, demographics, and even psychology. Because in Japan, the decision to buy life insurance is rarely about fear. It's about obligation, it's about dignity. And it's deeply connected to how Japanese culture views family and responsibility. Let's start with culture. In Japan, the concept of giri is extremely important. Giri means duty or obligation, especially toward family. Traditionally, parents sacrifice everything for their children. In return, when the parents become elderly, the children are expected to care for them. But as society has changed and families have become smaller, life insurance has become a tool to fulfill that duty in a modern way. Instead of burdening children with expenses, people purchase life insurance to ensure they leave behind support, even after death. It's not about making the family rich, it's about not being a burden. That idea is one of the most powerful drivers of the Japanese insurance mindset. We also need to understand Japan's unique demographic situation. Japan is the oldest country in the world, with nearly 30% of its population over age 65. Young people are becoming fewer, and elderly people are living longer than ever before. In most countries, life insurance is marketed to young people. In Japan, seniors buy it too, not just for protection, but to help with funeral costs, medical bills, and inheritance planning. Insurance companies in Japan even offer policies designed specifically for old age, something we rarely see elsewhere in the world. The average Japanese policyholder is older, more cautious, and deeply concerned about the future. Another huge factor behind Japan's insurance culture is its history of saving. Japan is famous for being a nation of savers. For decades, people stored money in cash, postal accounts, or low-yield deposits. Insurance companies recognized this and began selling life insurance not just as protection, but as a savings vehicle. Whole life and endowment policies became extremely popular because they offered guaranteed returns, tax benefits, and a sense of stability. For many Japanese people, life insurance became a substitute for investment. It was a safe, disciplined way to build wealth without entering the stock market. That is why banks, post offices, and employers in Japan often promote life insurance. It is not seen as a risky product, it is seen as a responsible financial plan. There is also a psychological difference. Japanese society emphasizes planning far more than Western societies. The fear of uncertainty drives people to prepare for every stage of life, including death. In many countries, people avoid even talking about death, but in Japan, planning your financial legacy is seen as a sign of maturity. Buying life insurance is normal, not morbid. It's part of preparing for every possibility, because being unprepared is considered irresponsible. This mindset is deeply rooted in the Japanese value of stability and self-reliance. We also cannot ignore the role of tradition. In Japan, funerals are extremely expensive, often the equivalent of $15,000 or more. Many families purchase insurance specifically to cover funeral expenses so their relatives do not have to pay. That single cultural reality drives millions of policies. In the West, funerals are much cheaper or paid over time. In Japan, they are immediate and ceremonial, which makes insurance a practical solution. Interestingly, life insurance in Japan is also influenced by the workplace. Many employers offer group insurance a benefit. In the 1980s and 1990s, it was extremely common for employees to be automatically enrolled in policies through their companies. Even today, millions of people maintain insurance simply because it became a habit. For older generations, insurance salespeople would visit homes and workplaces like delivery workers. They built trust, relationships, and a sense of obligation. This created a culture where buying insurance was the norm, not the exception. What makes Japan even more unique is how insurance is used to transfer wealth. Unlike in countries like the United States, where people invest in stocks or real estate, many Japanese households use life insurance as their main financial asset. Insurance payouts are tax efficient, predictable, and easy to pass on to family. It is a conservative country, and many people prefer guaranteed outcomes over high-risk investments. Life insurance fills that emotional need for certainty. Now the big question, is this system sustainable? Japan is still aging, its population is still shrinking, and its economy has been stagnant for decades. Many young Japanese people today earn less than their parents did, and yet insurance remains popular. Some experts believe the culture of over-insurance may eventually decline as younger generations adopt new financial habits. But others argue that Japan's culture of planning and responsibility runs too deep to disappear. If anything, as pensions shrink and long-term care costs rise, insurance may become even more essential. So what does all of this mean for the rest of the world? Japan may actually be the future. Many countries are aging. Birth rates are dropping, and families are becoming smaller. What Japan is experiencing now, the pressure to fund retirement, afford healthcare, and pass down wealth in unstable economies, will soon affect Europe, Korea, China, and even parts of the United States. Life insurance in Japan is not just a financial product, it's a cultural survival strategy, and it may be a preview of how other societies will adapt when aging becomes the defining economic issue of the century. Japan buys more life insurance than any country in the world because its people aren't just protecting income, they are protecting dignity, family, and identity. Life insurance in Japan is not only about money, it's about fulfilling a promise to take responsibility even after you're gone.